Hello, Fox Body fans. Welcome back to House of Dula. Glad to have you as always. Hey, listen, on this video, all we're going to be doing is a little bit of preventative maintenance on our little On3 Turbo 86 hatch here to get it more ready for Fox Fest, which is coming up in just a couple weeks. So, believe it or not, I haven't changed oil in it yet since I put the On3 Turbo setup in it. I know it's hard to believe, but let's be real. I've only put about maybe 1,500, 2,000 miles on it. Just putting around town, really, mostly in the car since I put the turbo on it. So probably more than that. Let's be real, maybe 5,000. Anyways, I also haven't checked the catch can. So we're going to be opening up the catch can for the first time, seeing how much oil is accumulated in it since I've owned the car with the On3 Turbo setup. So let's just get straight to it. Check it out together. It's easy to swing in and get stuff without bumping your head. One of the few things I do want to do here before we take this thing out to the track here in a couple weeks, we put the TKO in it. If you missed that video, go back and watch that. There's two parts to that. Part 1 and part 2 of the TKO install. So that's cool. We no longer have a weak point of a T5. That is called the T5. That is the T5. No more weak point with the T5. My weak point now is, well, everything else, the motor. But hey, that's okay. We're gonna turn the boost down a little bit too. I think the boost is turned up right now to 12 PSI. So let's check out the catch can. I'm gonna show you this here real quick. It's right here. This is the setup that I installed on the car, 2 years ago, really, when we put the On3 Turbo kit. I've got a whole series of videos just installing the On3 Turbo on this thing. It's in crazy detail. Everything from, the parts unboxing to, the ECU and running the micro squirt. Getting it tuned, set up in first drive and all that kind of stuff. So, also, installed this here. And I got a video on installing the PVC system as well. So PVC obviously is positive crankcase ventilation, PCV, not PVC, like I just said. PVC would be pipe, okay? This is PCV, positive crankcase ventilation system. So mine is set up very, very easy. This is like the easiest setup you could possibly do on a car like this. The back EGR ports are just simply blocked off, and these are running off each valve cover. I've got two hoses here, one for each valve cover. It is venting to atmosphere, meaning that it goes into the catch can. The catch can's got a filter on screen on it. The gases come out of the filter, but it has a separator, so the oil is supposed to fall into the can. So you'll have blow-by, especially with a turbo or a supercharger, a motor with boost. You're gonna have blow-by. The blow-by's gotta go somewhere. You can recirculate them. It's just more complex to do it that way. You have to put them into, entry of the turbo pipe here. Turbo inlet, you need positive pressure to suck in those gases. So it's a lot simpler just to set up the PVC system like this, where it's just venting to atmosphere. So, all right, guys, you haven't seen underneath the hood in this thing in quite a while. It's nice to open it up, but hey, I've been driving it. We got some clutch braking to do, so I want to get the oil change in this because I need to drive at least 500 miles to brake in the clutch. Really 400 to 500 miles, and lots of stop and start. It's not highway. I can't just get on this thing and blast up and down the highway all day. To get my 500 miles, we've got to do a lot of driving, and it's supposed to rain like the entire week, so I want to make sure that I have enough time to get this thing actually driving, putting around town. Anyways, so here is my On3 Turbo set up, okay? Guys, I haven't talked about this setup, but I've had zero issues with it. None. This thing has been just great. I mean, we did a pretty good job installing it, I think, but the turbo itself, no problems. It still spools the same exact, just as good as it did the day we bought it. And in fact, right now I've got it cranked up to about 12 pounds of boost, and it's holding just fine. The tune is holding it okay. It's short bursts of that kind of boost levels, but the track will be definitely hammering on it. So I'll probably go 5 clicks back. That'll bring it back down to about 10 and a half on the boost controller here. So I count the clicks and I mark the clicks down and I notate how much more the boost goes up. Anyways, here is our positive crankcase ventilation system, and it is simply a Amazon part. It's aluminum, it's black, it's kind of cool. It matches the overflow tank I got here. I think this is a Mr. Gasket part number. I'll put the part numbers in here. A lot of people ask me all the time where I got this. This was a Summit Racing piece, and it is it was really affordable. It's a nice looking piece. It's cool. And it goes right next to this guy here. So this, I try to get tricky with it, so you can see how they're mounted in pretty good. This has an ear on it, screw right into it. This has a big, like, basically O-clamp that's going around, and it's mounted to the second ear on this, and that's how this is holding the stuff in. But I try to get fancy, and I put both valves. I actually drilled holes in the bottom of the car here. There's a drain valve for this. It's just a plug in case you wanted to drain this. You could, I guess. And there's also a petcock valve on this that's going down underneath the car. The problem is the car is so low, and you really can't get to it because of the the fender liners all the way up in place. You'd have to get this on a lift and snake your arm up through there to do that. So it wasn't really good planning on my part. The thought process was I'll just be able to reach my hand in there, drain it when I want to, but I think what we're going to do is just unscrew it and lift it up. Well, if I would have done this correctly the first time, I would have welded a stud on the back to allow this to be all removable. There we go. It's like horrible planning on my part. All right. Cool. Yeah. Well, let's drain this thing. See how much oil's in it. Okay, we're just gonna lift this up here. Open this up. There we go. Well, the separator is working. You notice that the screen is not very oily. There's no oil around the edge here. So it's not like it's, overfilling, leaking. That's not very much oil, which is kind of what I expected. Haven't been driven it that much. That's pretty much it. So as much oil as came out of this, this can will last me a lifetime, man. Cool. Closes the valve. All right, that's it. Oh, it smells gassy. Woo, man. Yep, so that's all that came out of it, which is good. It's working. It's separating the oil. This would have been all over the filter or engine bay without it. So yeah, better here than all over the place. So it's definitely doing its job. That's cool. Glad to know that this is working. The system's working. It's not leaking on the valve covers where I put the bulkhead fittings in there instead of welding them in. So that's cool. And yeah, stinks. It smells like fumous, gaseous oil. You see how thin it is too. That's why the oil needs to be changed too. So get fresh oil in it. The blow by eventually does contaminate your oil. It does, and just you got to change the oil more often, I think, with boosted stuff. So get it lifted up a little bit so we can get an oil change. Freaking Ozzy. Ozzy's awesome. Love Ozzy Osbourne. No need to go crazy here. Just enough room to drain it. Okay. All right, man. Got the car up enough here. I think we're good. I definitely want to take a look at the oil. Get this thing here. Clean it up a little bit because it's got some nastiness on it. Another reason I'm doing this is because I've got a oil leak. Yeah, there's plenty of room here. Okay. Sweet. See my oil leak right here. This is why I'm, changing it out, because it needs to be done, but it's also got a leak on one of the drain valves. The back one's definitely leaking. The front one maybe too, but I think the back one's leaking, and it's actually getting up in the cross member, or the K member, and just dripping down. So that is a good reason to change it. I'm tired of having oily engines. So the T5 was leaking, and now the engine oil on this thing is leaking. So, all right, the gasket. Okay, let that drain. Ooh, it's nice and black, man. It's time to change the stuff. I don't think you can see it, right? Huh? So this already has one of those gaskets on it, or the plugs I'm telling you about here. Oh, gasket's not working, but the plug itself is clean. You kind of see this gasket's had its better days, so that's why I was leaking. This thing's just no longer, it's just flat, so it's got no plumpness to it anymore. So letting that drain out, it's just about done. I'm gonna go ahead and loosen up the front plug. It doesn't seem to be leaking though. And yes, in case you're here, because this is the first time you've ever done an oil change on a Fox body, then yes, they have 2 plugs. Okay, that's some dirty oil, man. Look at that. It's like this gasket was doing a decent job though holding it. It does not look sparkly, at least the top layer here doesn't. This looks dirty. Off to the store to get filter, Mobil 1 synthetic oil, and some gaskets. Okay, I got myself 5 quarts of 10W30 Mobil 1 synthetic. Okay, I got myself a Mobil 1 filter, M1301A full size, more filtering, and I decided to get myself this because that just, the other one worked, but this is gonna be better for me in the tight spaces that I got, because I have the filter relocation 90-degree elbow on the block because the On3 turbo. Yeah, so because of the way that the headers are on the On3 turbo kit, of course they go forward, and you can no longer use a traditional filter in the side of the block unless you get the 90-degree elbow kit, which I got. Again, you can go back and watch all that on the On3 video installation videos. Cool. We're going to prime this, put some fresh oil in it, and get it up in place. It's nice that it is no longer like this on the side of the block. It's now like this, so I can just fill this thing up with oil without having to worry about it spilling all over me. Boom! I can't believe I forgot this. I completely forgot to get my gasket. And I'm not going to put this together without the right O-ring on my plug, because it will absolutely leak if I don't, which means I'm going back to the store. Found them. These guys right here, 1/2-inch Dorman oil plug gasket. Already got one on that one right there. Stick it in. Place this one on the front with a new one as well, just because. And then both of them will at least have new gaskets. Do this so you don't fire up your engine dry. I'm gonna take a little bit here, run around the edge. All right, a little bit more in it. Here's the deal. I want to go ahead and make sure that the engine warms up and all that oil drains to the bottom. See right here. Yeah, I was gonna say it's rising as we speak because it's cold. Hopefully I didn't overfill it. I'll let it sit there for a second. I think I was a little bit too impatient. So obviously when you pour it down the heads, it's got to run to the back of the heads, down the drain pan, into the oil pan. Since it's fresh and cool, it's gonna take a second to do that. So don't be impatient like me. Just, yep, man, it's got too much in it. It's clean though. What I'll do now is we're gonna let it warm up. It's just a little bit over full, see? Hopefully you can see that there. But it is still overfilled. So let me let the engine heat up. We can take a little bit of it out. Okay, start her up. Yeah, it's overfilled. Well, that's what I get. Cool. So I'm gonna drain some out. All right, so here's the deal. So you think too much oil is not a bad thing? It kind of is. If you have too much oil, yes, I'm cleaning my hands with carb cleaner. Shouldn't do that. Too much oil will cause a lot of drag on the crank, the counterweights on the crankshaft itself. So you can overfill it, cause a lot of drag on your crank. So I'm gonna take some out. Just too full. I'm gonna try to drain about a quart out here. So this is gonna get messy because I gotta put the plug back in. All right, that was more than enough. So now we gotta add some more to it. Which is fine. Like I said, I'd rather do it this way than it be empty. All right, man, should be good to go. I did have to add more than I took out. Unfortunately, I took out a little bit too much, but it's perfect now. So, yeah, hell yeah. So now I'm ready for Fox Fest. Fresh oil on the motor, fresh transmission. She's rolling. All right, kick ass. All right, definitely need a clean rag. Go wash my hands, clean the shifter knob. Screwed that up, it's got some oil on it. Real quick, shout out to Hicks House Videos. Thank you for the shirt. This shirt is rad. I saw it on Instagram and I said I had to have it. Offered him one of my shirts for his shirt and he was totally willing to do a trade. So I shipped one out to him. He shipped this out to me along with some stickers and I appreciate that. So check out his content. He's got good stuff there. He's also got a really good Instagram channel. You may be wondering why you're in my living room. Hey Mike, why am I in the living room? It's because I wanted to show you guys my huge, cool banner. It's rad, it's huge. 10 foot and it's for our Fox Fest booth, so you can't miss us. I also have a stack of decals that have the House of Dula car right there, so I'm gonna be giving these away. I've got 50 of them, so come by the booth and check it out. Fox Fest is now officially just in 2 days. It's Friday, it is Sunday, this upcoming Sunday, May 23rd, again at XRP. So if you are in the vicinity, come out and say hi to us. Check out the booth, you can't miss us, right? Get yourself a free sticker and I'll also be selling some t-shirts. So check us out. We'll see you next time. We're gonna get ready for Fox Fest and then we'll be working on the 79, focusing all of our attention on that car. I got lots to do to it. We have lots of parts. I got some new cool stuff to show you on the 79. So that's gonna be pretty rad, but that's it. We'll stay tuned for more content coming. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and subscribe so you get notifications when all this rad content comes out, okay? Hey, we'll see y'all next time. Take care.